My project, the first stage before I join to uh, SAS Enterprise Miner to perform text mining, I will need to transform this Excel sheet that is downloaded from Olive. In order for SAS to perform and process a spreadsheet, we are required to add three columns, namely the origin of the three cuisine, Indian, Italian, and Thai. Uh, to be able to transform the spreadsheet, I will need to apply this formula as in here. If this column equal to Indian, then it will be a 1, so on and so forth. I will apply the same for Italian and Thai. This should effectively give me a binary of 1 and 0 to state whether the particular row belong to an Indian cuisine, Italian or Thai cuisine. Next up, I will import this Excel sheet using the file import node, which can be found under sample. And in the given parameters, the properties here, to import the file, I will go to File, Import. I'll go and browse for this file, and then I will click OK. In this case, I've imported the file earlier. Next steps. Okay, the next step we'll be doing will be to edit the variables. This has to be done so that the correct analysis from the correct analysis will be the analysis will be correct. We'll need to change some of the variables, rows, and measurement level. The variables that will be changing um, will be the three cuisine, the ingredients, preparation methods, and regions. In this case, I've changed the variables rows and level earlier. Initially, Indian, Italian, and Thai were assigned the role of input, and the level is interval. But in order to get it track, we need to change this three cuisine to target. And as what we have done in Excel, uh, we need to change the level, the measurement level to binary because the column is in 0 and 1. For ingredients, we are going to analyze ingredients because it will be easier to identify cuisine through the ingredients there rather than the preparation methods. Hence, we will change the row of ingredients to text and the rows of preparations to input. And at the same time, we will be rejecting region as we will not be using these variables in our analysis later. Next, we'll be doing a data partitions. We are going to build two sets of data sets, training data sets and validation data sets. In this case, we will change the training data sets allocation to 75% and validations to 25%. After we have done our data partitions, next we'll move on to text parsing. This is the part where we will apply the stop list and we will ignore some of the attributes in the cofers. So how do we get the stop list? The default stop list by SAS can be found. It's already assigned to the text parsing node. However, uh, because we are analyzing the ingredients, so there will be some additional terms that we will encounter later that will be required to be added to the stop list. And in this case, as what I have done earlier. I've added after I've completed the model, the run, I have actually included a few of these additional terms to the stop list so that it will improve the accuracy of this model and analysis. Okay, after we've done our text parsing, the next one that we will be doing will be text filter. The text filter is used in this stage to configure the terms weight and frequency weight. This is the this node is also used to help me group terms with similar meaning. For example, I may have encountered salted butter, soft butter in the recipe. However, they might be grouped as different terms. So in order to give me a more accurate reading, I will need to group them and then name them as butter instead of three different terms. Uh, for text parsing, we will also change the term weight to entropy because of the file size of this recipe that we're using. We only have 295 recipe, which is rather small. So entropy for the term weight would be enough. Next up, we will be using the text topic notes to identify the topics from the recipe. In this case, we are required to identify three topics that will represent the three cuisines, which is Thai, Indian, and Italian. Um, as you can see from the topic viewer, I have specified three cuisine that was derived from the model that I've run earlier, which is Thai, Italian, and Indian. These are the three topics derived from the decision tree that I've run earlier. We'll go to the next later part. I will go through how uh, the result was derived from decision tree and how why is it that I chose decision tree as the predictive model to be used in this case. Okay, for this topic, these three topics that I selected is Thai, and these are the terms associated to this topic. And next thing we'll see Italian, and the common these are the ingredients that you will see that will describe a Thai cuisine. And last but not least will be Indian. These are the ingredients that are associated to the Indian cuisine. After we have done with text topic, we will need to move on to our predictive model to construct our predictive modeling. Before we can embark on predictive modeling, uh, as I have mentioned earlier, there are three cuisines: Thai, Indian, and Italian. In order to for us to select the best model to get the result, we will need to use the metadata node, which can be found at utility. Uh, we'll use this node to isolate uh, each individual cuisine. We need to isolate them uh, individually. Uh, as you can see, in this case, I have rejected Indian and Italian, which was initially assigned the role of targets. So in this case, this metadata allow me to just solely leave Thai as the target. So after this is done, we also need to change the ingredients to inputs because this is the input data that will be pump into our predictive model that we will be used later. Okay, so likewise we'll be doing the same for the other two cuisine, Indian and Italian. We'll be doing the same steps. We'll go to trains and then just reject them and change them accordingly. After we have done all this, we'll move on. After we've done the metadata node, we will next move on to the predictive model. In this case, we use this predictive model to get the result. The first will be decision tree, the second will be regression model. For decision trees, for the assessment methods, we'll be using misclassification rate, and for regression, we'll be using logistic regressions to for the regression model. Okay, let's take a look at the result from the decision tree. As what I have covered earlier, this is the result which I have. Thai is the result that I have derived from decision tree. Uh, this was actually a user specified terms. In order to view the actual terms associated to Thai, we will need to go back to topic viewer to view the exact terms given, which I will be showing again in a while. So this is for decision tree. And for regression model, this is the result. Okay, next we will be comparing between this model for the Thai uh, cuisine. And in this case, we'll be looking at a misclassification rate to determine which model is the most suitable model for us to derive the result from. Looking at the fit statistic under validations misclassification rate, you can see that the decision tree model use a lower misclassification rate. That would means that it is a more accurate model compared to the regression model. And if we take a look at the Indian comparison model comparison result under the fit statistic, it yield almost the same result. The decision tree gave a lower misclassification rates of 12%, whereas the regression model gave a relatively high misclassification rate of 43.2%. And last, we'll be looking at the model comparison for Italian. Okay, some error here. Okay, for the Italian decision tree, model comparison, again, decision tree yield a lower misclassification rate of 13.5%, where the regression model yield a misclassification rate of 28.3%. Hence, from here, we are able to conclude that decision tree use a better model or use a better result. Hence, from here, we will be actually from here I have actually got the result from decision tree and then change the topic for the topic viewer. So from the result that we have derived, um, for Thai cuisine, uh, these are the ingredients that will strongly uh, tell us that the cuisine itself, the recipe itself, uh, if you see these ingredients, this would mean that they are cooking Thai cuisine. So the ingredients we have peas, premium coconut milk, sauce, chicken corn milk, so and so for fish sauce, peanuts. Yeah. Um, as for Indian, I suppose we will see coconut milk also. Okay, sorry. Yeah, we'll see coconut, sesame, oil, ginger. Yeah. As for Italian, I guess you see a lot of cheese and butter. Yep. In this case, you see a lot of cheese, parmesan, egg, so and so forth, and pepper. Yeah, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.